Welcome to this edition of Gentle Somatic Yoga, Yin Yoga, mindfulness practices, and heart math practices, and sometimes mudra practices. So lots of offerings in today's class. And I am taking a course right now with Tara Brock, and I am learning so much from this course. So I wanted to continue to share her RAIN practice. RAIN is an acronym that stands for recognize, allow, and allow could also be accept, investigate or inquiry with care, and N for nurture. So nurture whatever is showing up. And then she added another thing, which is after rain. And after rain is sort of soaking in anything that you've been able to learn about yourself through this practice. And I think that's when I'll put in a heart math practice that I think would go really nicely for after rain. Find your way into a comfortable position. Either close your eyes or have it downward gaze, staring at nothing. So bring to mind a current difficulty you're going through. Not traumatic, but maybe a hurt, an anger, a fear, something that's causing you shame, or even something you're craving. So just spend a minute bringing that to mind. And if you're a person who likes to write things down, you could even have a pen and jot them down. Maybe it's something that comes up regularly, something that repeats itself, either with a friend, a partner, a colleague, a child. Now, hopefully, the situation you brought to mind brings up a difficult emotion, something that you struggle with, makes you feel uncomfortable. So that's the recognize. And there's a little bit more. See if you can actually visualize the situation and maybe what the person said to you if there's another person involved that is triggering. And then as you recognize your reaction, maybe even name it in your mind or whisper it. For me, it's either hurt, usually hurt, feeling unaccepted or not being given credit, whatever that feeling is, like that's a pattern for me. So now the allow is allow that feeling. Say yes to that feeling. This is the way I feel about this situation. Create some space for it. So the next step is the letter I for investigate. So this is where you deepen your attention and you go into what am I actually believing about myself and if there is an other in this. So again, I won't give you the specific situation, but I'll give you an example. So what I believe about myself is I'm working really hard and I'm hurt that I'm not getting the credit that I'm due, or that whoever I'm working with may be taking advantage of me. So that's what I'm recognizing and deeply investigating. And then I'm looking at the other side and thinking, okay, what do you think they're feeling? Maybe that because I put myself out there so much that I want to be taken advantage of. I'm not setting the boundaries myself. I don't know. But try to deeply investigate this situation. And if there's another person involved, what you're experiencing, what beliefs you have about yourself, and possibly what the other person believes, if there's another person involved. And here's most important about investigate. How does that make you feel? And where are you feeling that? So this is really where do I feel that? Do you feel it in your belly? Is it in the throat? Around the eyes or the mouth? Does it tighten your jaw, or do you feel like clenching your fists? This is the embodiment of that feeling, the felt sensation from inside. And we do this not to necessarily say, oh, this hurts, but you have to do the scan of your body. You have to get familiar with what these triggers do to you. This is your vulnerable part of you. So let's continue into rain, to the nurture. This is where you ask your vulnerable part, now that you've discovered where it is, what does it need? What does it need to feel love or whole or okay again? And if you have a hard time being yourself and doing this for yourself, imagine that your higher, whatever you believe in, higher up there, or your cat or your best friend or somebody offering this nurturing to you. You might even put your hand on the heart. And offer that compassion and kindness to address the needs here. You could even be whispering things like, I'm here with you. Trust your goodness. You are okay. You're held in love. Now, as we complete rain, we're going to rest in the aftermath of rain, and that's when we're going to continue to breathe in and out of our heart center. Absorbing this light and love, this uplift. Feeling its warmth. It's like you've wrapped yourself in a beautiful heart-shaped envelope. And from this place of warmth, light, openness, and presence, you're asking your heart, is there something else that I need to do? Is there a different way I could handle these situations that make me feel less triggered? Not can we change the other person, but just maybe how we respond. There's some wisdom here. So if something comes up and you still have your paper nearby, you might want to jot it down. And if something doesn't come up, this is a kind of thing you could repeat quite often the minute you get into a reactionary state. So I hope this is helpful, and I want to thank my teachers, particularly Tara Brock, for introducing this to me, and all the teachers who have taught me heart math. So let's go into some movement today, and let's start on hands and knees briefly. Just to move the spine around. And again, if you find hands and knees difficult, you could move the spine in other ways. I'm just going to sway the hips side to side a few times. And then maybe add a gentle head turn so that I'm looking at my hips like a dog or a cat wagging its tail. And then lifting the bottom of the legs off the ground and getting maybe just a little more sway. This is a C curve. And then coming down to the forearms, putting the feet back on the ground, shifting the weight back and forth. Using your breath. And then just for a moment, briefly tense all the muscles here. So create a tension in the body so that we can decreate it. And now, in as slow and mindful a manner as possible, begin to release. You might be releasing from the top down. You might be releasing from the bottom up, whichever feels more natural to you. You might widen your legs. You're going as slowly as possible, purposely letting things go and seeing if you can come to a place where there's absolutely no held tension. And just breathe here. Notice what's constricting your breath and sending that care and compassion and love. From here, we're going to gently make our way all the way to the belly. Maybe you need to spread out a blanket, move other things out of your way. And from this belly position, we'll loosen our neck first and then our shoulders. Let's see. Okay. I think you can all see me. And your hands are by your chest. And you might start with your head, with the forehead on the ground, if that's okay. And then lift up gently. And the next time you lower it down, place the right cheek on the ground. And lift up gently. And then the next time you lower, place the left cheek on the ground. And repeat this pattern 2 more times. So now take the right hand, palm down, place your forehead on the back of the right hand or your cheek, you decide which. I like to keep my forehead. Now my left arm is coming by my side and that palm is facing the sky, and I'm trying as much as possible to tuck my shoulder down to the ground. So I have the left shoulder on the ground, the left palm facing up, the right palm facing down, either the forehead or left cheek on that palm. As you inhale, you're just going to lift the right arm up, almost as if you're saluting, and then come back to the ground. And then do it 2 more times. You don't have to go high. It's not the height. It's the contracting of the muscles and releasing. And number 3. Now, if you're feeling like it today, you could add the opposite leg in to actually strengthen those cross muscles on the back. So, left leg goes up slightly as the right arm salutes. My head could be turning slightly. And then release and make sure you're relaxing all the way down. And second one. And release and let go. And third one. Release and let go. Now before we do the other side, make a pillow, a complete pillow with the arms. Bend the knees up. Allow the legs to sway side to side. Now when you're swaying the legs, your hips are pretty loose. They don't have to stay on the ground. They're just being carried by the momentum of the legs. To set up for the other side, this time your right arm is bent, right palm is facing the ground, either the forehead or the left cheek is resting on it. My left arm is down, either the forehead or right cheek. Now your right arm is by your side, hand is facing the sky. If you can, you're tucking that shoulder to the ground. And taking a nice big breath, you're lifting up, maybe it's only 1/8 of an inch. You're engaging the back body and then purposely releasing the muscles and softening. Do that 2 more times. Engage and let it go. Third time, engage and release. Now, when you're laying here, check in and see if you've actually released muscles. Are you still holding tension somewhere? If you're feeling like it, you're going to add the opposite leg. So as my left arm salutes with the head, my right leg lifts slightly. Don't go into any pain. And when you come down, have you softened? Number 2. And number 3. Release the whole pose. Stack your arms, bend the knees, swish the legs side to side. So next we'll do swimming shoulders. Take your hands chest height. Your elbows are pointed to the sky. And you can either leave your head bobbling or put the forehead on the ground. And you're imagining your shoulders. Each one is like a elliptical machine. So you're pedaling forward or walking forward on your elliptical machine. And then you're walking back on your elliptical machine.
And then widening your arms away from the chest. You're circling. It's not really a circle. It's more of an ellipse. You're ellipsing forward and ellipsing back. And let's go ahead and make a pillow one more time. And just swivel the legs side to side, releasing the hips. Now turn over on your back and let's see how the neck and the shoulders are feeling. Take your time. So, checking in after a little sequence like that is the way we actually create the most change. If we just go from one series to the next, we're not giving our body a chance to actually absorb the new learnings and the brain to actually focus on what feels different. And if your nervous system likes this, this is the pattern we're trying to recreate. So this is the check-in. And then you might gently turn your head without lifting it off the ground, side to side to see range of motion. So we'll do a little bit of range of motion here. First with eyes closed. Now come back to the center and stillness. Now without moving the head at all, I want your eyes to go completely as far as they can to the right. And now come back to the center. Do that 2 more times. Eyes to the right and back to the center. And 3rd time, eyes to the right and back to the center. Now keeping your eyes open, allow the eyes to go to the right and then allow the head to turn toward that direction and see if you have a little more range of motion. Now we'll add one more part of this. Take your tongue, gently put it inside your lips and over to the right side. Let your tongue come and do a complete circle while your head's in the center. Do this gently. All right, let's repeat that to the left side. First time, turn your head with your eyes closed. And come back to center. Now just allow your eyes to go to the left without moving to the left. And bring the eyes back to center. Eyes look left as far as they can. Eyes back to center. 3rd time. Eyes look left. And eyes back to center. Now let your eyes go left. Turn your head to the left without lifting it up. And then add the tongue in there gently. Take the tongue on the left side between the cheek and the teeth. Then allow the tongue to circle inside the cheek and the teeth back at the center. Do it the other direction. Now with the eyes back closed, just gently turn your head right and left. and sensing inside if you've been able to release a little bit of tension. Now with your head safely on the ground, go ahead and interlace the hands behind the neck to support it. Just tilt the chin up. Tilt it up. Your eyes can be closed. And then bring it back. Now the next time you tilt the chin up, have your eyes look up, almost behind you, and then come back. And then the next time you look, next time your chin goes up, have your eyes look down. Close your eyes again, tilt the chin up, and release. We're going to tilt the chin down, first time with the eyes closed, and come back to neutral. Next time you tilt the chin down, have your eyes look down, and back to neutral. Now the next time you tilt your chin down, have your eyes look up, and back to neutral. Now release the hands and just let your head tilt back and forth like you're nodding yes. And see if you have a little more comfort with that. All right. How are you feeling? Hopefully a little looser in the upper body. Let's start moving our way down while we're on the ground. And if you can, if you have something like a pillow, a bolster, a rolled blanket, put it behind your head. And mine is kind of getting stuck on the bowl. And then have your hands facing skyward. The backs of your hands are on the back on the bolster, the pillow, the rolled blanket. And cross the right leg completely over the left leg. Okay? And very, very gently, your legs are going to tilt to the right just a little bit. And as your legs are tilting to the right a little bit, lengthen your left arm and look a little bit left. Come back to the center. Do that again. You may not be able to go very far. Just go easy on this. And then third time, make sure each time you're totally letting go. Make sure my microphone is in a position you can hear me. Okay, now carefully slide, so we have our right leg over our left. Slide the left foot over to the right side and your hip. And then just gently let the legs go toward the left. You might be landing on the foot, don't go too far. And then allow the right arm to gently slide up. Again, don't go too deep into this. And then release, let the legs go. Widen the feet. Allow both knees to tuck toward each other. And then windshield wiper a little bit. And with the windshield wiper, you can add an arm lengthening if that feels good. So when I lengthen the same arm of the leg that's turning in, I'm getting from underneath the armpit all the way through the front of the hip flexor. Now, draw the hands by your side, place them on the hips. Your feet are now a little closer together, and just allow the legs to open. Feel those hips opening, and then close. Allow them to open and close. And then just do a windshield wiper with closer legs with hands remaining on the hips. You can even slide one hand down as the other hand kind of slides up a little bit, but it's staying with the elbow on the ground. All right. Now we have to cross the other leg over. I have to remember what leg I crossed over. I think you cross your left leg over. If you can, the knees are touching. The arms are bent again with the palms facing the sky. So we're going to allow the legs to go off to the left as the right arm lengthens, getting that whole side body, and then release back to neutral. Second time, and release to neutral, and third time, release to neutral. Now slide the right foot over to the left side of your mat a little bit and your hip. And then allow your twist to now go the opposite way. I'm landing on my left foot. And then allowing the arm of the same side, the left arm, to stretch up and slightly turning my head that way. Untwining your legs, maybe for a moment, completely stretching out, and let's check in with our body. How's it feeling? Do we have a little more comfort in both the left and the right sides? Release all tension with a cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, open mouth, and make a sound. Or any sound works. All right. So draw your knees into the chest. Maybe do a few hip circles. A few hip circles the other way. And maybe you do some figure eights. And figure eights the other way. And then cup the hands under the knees briefly. And then gently lift and lower one leg at a time. And do both legs up and both legs down. You can point when you go up, flex down, point up, flex down, and roll to seated. How are you feeling? I know my body feels a little bit better. So let's do a mudra practice. Why don't you, for a minute, unmute yourself as I go through the list and pick out the one that you think would be most beneficial today. So, okay, we've got, I'm trying to look and see. I'm thinking one of the physical ones for your upper body breathing, but let me get into the physical list, see if I can do that. Okay, here are the health conditions. We've got asthma, we've got colds and flu, we've got headaches and migraine.
That's a good one.
Okay, headaches and migraine. Mahashirsha. Okay, I gotta find Mahashirsha. Let's get to that one.
That is page 88. Okay, that's the one we'll do. I don't think I've done this one. I mean, if I have, it's been a while. Okay. All right. So it's kind of a funny one. It's the gesture of the great head for headache and tension relief. The great head. Okay. So I might go closer so you can see my hand position. And you're going to tuck your ring finger into the palm. This is going to be challenging for me. And extend the little finger straight out. And then touch the tip of the thumb to the tip of the index finger and the middle finger. So my pinky may not go out all the way, but so thumb to index and middle finger, ring finger tucked in, pinkies extended. Got it? It's a little bit of a challenge itself. Maybe that's how it gets rid of our headache. We're focusing on, can we do this? Okay. So the theme is releasing all tension and disease. I naturally abide in comfort and clarity. Headache relief. Okay. About 45 million Americans suffer from chronic headaches. There are many types of headaches, tension headache being among the most common. The factors in tension headache include dehydration, posture issues, fatigue, overexertion, clenching of the jaw, eye strain, and accumulated muscular tension. And of course, stress is the most common reported trigger of tension headaches. During the stress response, the breath moves to the upper chest, which engages the muscles of the shoulder and the neck. That increases the breath rate to provide energy in preparation for fight, flight, or the freeze response. And when stress becomes chronic, these areas tend to remain contracted, creating the conditions in which tension headaches can occur. And the stress response also increases circulation to the brain and head, which enhances alertness. That's the good side, which is very helpful for meeting a short-term challenge. But when the stress becomes chronic, that elevated blood pressure to the head may result in headaches. All right, so Maha Shirsha actually means big head and refers to the sensation of lightness and comfort in the head cultivated by this mudra. The gesture releases muscular tension from the face, the jaw, and around the eyes, which may provide relief from tension headaches. Okay, so can you hold that? If you can't, imagine what you're doing. So it's thumb to second and third finger, fourth finger's tucked in, the pinky is sticking out, and then you're resting the backs of the hands onto your thighs or knees with the hands facing upward. All right, so what we're doing is actually releasing tension downward. If you're able to or feel comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes. As you hold the Maharshirsha Mudra, take several natural breaths to tune in to all the feelings and the sensations evoked by the gesture. Sense how your inhale rises up into the neck and the head, allowing you to become aware of any stress or tension in these areas. And then on your exhale, the breath is lengthened naturally, supporting the release of the tension from your head and the neck down into the earth below you. So try that for a few rounds. Visualize that breath going all the way down your body into the earth, The earth is absorbing your tension. As tension is released, it allows you to let go of the obstacles to life, creating more ease and comfort. And then within each inhale, you're opening to receiving any positive qualities that support your life journey. So go ahead and visualize that for a few breaths. Inhaling anything to support your life journey. Exhaling the stress and the tension. Getting rid of obstacles down into the earth. On the next inhale, open to receive the quality of fluidity. The ability to work with the obstacles that arise without identifying with them or taking them more seriously than they require. Sometimes with these obstacles, we make them into larger things than they need to be. See if we can have more fluidity. As you exhale, release. Release the stress and the tension that comes with the challenges that you meet down into the earth beneath you. On the next inhale, upward into the neck and the head, open to receive the quality of lightness of being. That often involves seeing the bigger picture in all of your interactions and activities. Going beyond our personality and limited self. Our personality and our ego are just the vehicle for learning and growing and awakening. And then as you exhale, release the heaviness and the density that can arise from identifying too closely with ourselves into the earth. On the next inhale into your neck and head, open to receive the quality of clarity. The ability to see beyond momentary challenges and embrace all the limitless possibilities. As you exhale, release the cloudiness that these obstacles create that keep you from seeing clearly down into the earth beneath you. On the next inhale, upward into the neck and the head, open to receive the quality of wholeness of being. The knowing that you're inherently whole and complete. And as you exhale, release all this fragmentation and any low self-esteem down and out into the earth beneath. On your next inhale, upward into the neck and the head, open to receive the quality of joy. Knowing that happiness and peace are the very nature of your being. And as you exhale, release all the sadness, the sorrow, the suffering into the earth beneath. Now with your inhaling breath, open to receive greater comfort, lightness, ease, joy, and with the next exhale, release all tension from your forehead, the eyes, the jaw, and the face, down into the earth. And as tension from your head is released, sense your forehead, the temples, and the eyes relax. Allow a serene smile to spread across your face and have that smile permeate your entire being. Affirm the complete relief by repeating the following 3 times, aloud or silently. As tension is released into the earth beneath me, I'm able to rest in comfort and ease. As tension is released into the earth beneath me, I am able to rest in comfort and ease. As tension is released into the earth beneath me, I'm able to rest in comfort and ease. Go ahead and release the gesture. Move your fingers around, shake them out. Return to your natural breath, and as you're ready, blink your eyes open. And then use your hands to gently rub around the temples, around the ears, behind the ears, to the back of the neck. Create like 4 fingers into a comma or a sideways smile, and take those fingers and rub them from the back to the front. From the back to the front. One more time, from the back to the front. Shake it all out. Lift the arms up. Gently move them side to side. Bend one elbow. Come back up. Bend the other elbow. Come back up. Maybe doing a gentle twist the next time. And a gentle twist. And then circling the arms in any fashion that feels neutralizing and nourishing and releasing. Change the direction. And cross the arms. Give yourself a big bear hug. Let everything drop forward. Open the arms. Cross the arms with the other one on top. Another bear hug. And keep the arms with the hands holding each elbow. And then tilt side to side. Release one. Drop the hand down the back. So you're holding on to the elbow. And then drop the other way. And then go the opposite way. And drop the other way, and let it go, and shake things out in any way that feels neutralizing. All right, draw the legs out in front of you. Hands behind you, fingers facing away. Open up the chest, knees together. Let the knees come apart. Close the chest. Open the chest, knees come together. Open legs, close the chest, come back down. Now let's reverse this. So place your arms around your legs and just briefly, without strain, look up. Pick a spot up there. Okay. Place the hands behind the back. Let's release our fascial tissue down our legs to try to release the neck even more. So your feet are parallel to each other. Slide one foot, maybe 6 to 8 inches forward of the other. Lift up onto the heel. Tuck the toes in. Release the toes. Let the whole foot come down. Slide the foot back and just lift the toes up. Release. Do this 2 more times. Go forward, up on heel, toes curl down. Release toes, flatten foot,
slide foot back, and lift the toes. Third time, forward, up on heel, curl toes down, let the toes go, flatten the foot, slide the foot back, and lift the toes. Release the arms for a minute, give yourself a bear hug, and look up and see if you've released the neck a little bit. Now let's go and do the other side. Hands behind your back, fingers pointed away. Slide the foot forward 6 to 8 inches, up on heel, curl the toes, release the toes, let the foot come down, slide the foot back, and lift the toes. 2 more times. Foot forward, heel, curl toes down, let toes go, flatten foot, slide it back, and lift the toes up. Last time, forward, up on heel, curl the toes, release the toes, flatten the foot, slide the foot back, and lift the toes. Now let's just lift all the toes for a second. Imagine you're playing the piano. Release, place the arms back around the legs, and look up and see if your neck is even more released. You can draw the shoulders up to protect the neck, but just let it go and see how you're feeling. And then let's go ahead and do just one more thing movement-wise. You can have one leg in and one leg out, and interlace the hand of the same arm on the bent leg. So I have the left leg forward and the left arm, and drop down, supporting the neck, turn to face the leg, draw elbow toward the leg, come up, and then open up a little bit, elbow points to the sky, your eyes can look up or not, and back. So once again, I've forgotten what I did first. Sideways, back, elbow toward knee, forward, open up, and release. Sideways, come back, elbow toward knee, and back, open elbow to the sky, and release. Just drop forward for a second. Let it go, and now let's switch legs. Draw the other knee in, this leg out, interlace the hand behind the other hand behind the neck. So now for me it's right knee bent, right elbow up. I'm dropping toward the straight leg, coming up, turning the elbow to face the straight leg, tucking in, coming up, lifting, opening into a twist, and release. Let's do that 2 more times. Go down, center, turn elbow toward leg, center, open to the sky, and back to neutral. Last time, lean over, release, elbow toward knee, release, open up, and release, and let it all go. And once again, let's just do something organic, just that feels good. Shaking things out, moving things around, and how are you feeling? So go ahead and find any comfortable Shavasana position. You don't have to lie down. If you're tired of lying down, you can go into a child's pose, you can sit, or go into any sort of comfortable lying down position. I love this reading from Mark Nipro. It's called Reflex or Response, and maybe it will resonate with you. The emotional patterns of our lives are very strong.
They often come into being because we needed them initially to survive. But sooner or later, we will arrive at moments where the very thing that has saved us is now hurting us, keeping us from truly living. Being invisible once kept us from being hurt, but now we're vanishing. Or listening once kept us in relation, but now we're drowning in our unheard cries. Or avoiding conflict once kept us out of the line of fire, but now we're thirsting for contact that is real. Early in my life, I learned to protect myself, and this meant that I became very good at catching things. In fact, I never went anywhere without my catcher's mitt. No matter what came at me, nothing could surprise me. And while this saved me from the unpredictable assaults of my family, and even helped me in my odyssey through cancer, it eventually had a life of its own. Everything, birds, women, friends, truth, was intercepted by the quick reflex of my mitt. Eventually, nothing got through, and the very thing that helped me survive was now keeping me from being touched. The softness and wonder of the world was vanishing from my life. But I did not survive to live at a distance from things, and so I began the long and painful process of putting my mitt down, of regaining choice about when and how to protect myself. I began to realize that letting life in was a deeper way to survive. In doing this work, I began to experience an amazingly thin lining of breath, which I believe is in all of us. Beneath it lives our impulse of heart, our true and genuine response to all that we encounter. And above it lives the reflex of our emotional survival, the quick twitch of our patterning. It seems our ability to be authentic and free can't touch us until we breathe our way below the twitch of our patterning. Often this requires outlasting the anxiety of needing to catch or fix what comes our way, so we can truly respond from the center of our being. There is, after all, a difference between helping someone because if you don't, you'll lose their love or some sense of your own image as a caring person, and helping someone because the impulse of the heart moves you to their aid. We are, each of us, in a repeatable war between defending ourselves from hurts that happened long ago and opening in innocence again and again to the unexpected touch of life. Wow, there's a lot of wisdom in that reading, and it relates so much to the rain practice we did today. So in the last minute, slowly find your way to that thin lining of breath that surrounds your heart. And allow into your awareness a current pressure that you might be feeling. And from that thin lining of breath, in and out, try on different ways to respond. What response has helped you survive in the past? What response will help you live more fully now? And which one feels more life-giving? So our hour together is over. It went by pretty quickly, and hopefully you take more time to do these practices and join me, because all my classes are different and unusual and involves lots of choices. So gather in any parts of this practice that were particularly helpful. Hands to the heart. And let's together say Namaste.